Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk from in the shell and share good vibes and good times. Friends and friends that bend the senses. Let's get a bit senseless. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we bring good vibes and good times. Welcome to the morning coffee show with super fast Tortoise. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we have the flow. Good vibes from head to toe.
Cool.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Morning Coffee Show with MTG here, Billy, Balt's Apprentice, and Lone Wolf. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Oh.
I love hearing that intro. Makes me smile every time.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a fun intro to make. I was wanting to redo it. All of them jazz. Yes. And look, you're part of this world now. You know, everybody here on this channel that has a channel, there are links in the description below if you want to check them out. Yeah, did you hear Billy DeBalt's Apprentice? DeBalt is going nuts. He's going crazy. You should see the projects he's doing.
And you can even subscribe to Lone Wolf if you want.
Yeah. Yeah, subscribe to Lone Wolf. Yeah.
I did.
Get those subscribers just for the fun of it.
I did, just for the fun of it.
You never know. Maybe 20 years down the line, I'll start streaming.
Right? That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. You know, the mainstream, the chaos Lone Wolf would bring.
Yep. But I actually did subscribe to Lone Wolf.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense. Why not?
Yep.
Subscribe away.
After all these, spell table games and stuff, he may get inspired to do his own stuff. So you got to be ready for it.
Really?
All right. Can you imagine? Can you imagine Lone Wolf just doing a whole video telling and instructing people how they can do infinite land destruction?
Yeah.
He's like, here's how you blow up your opponent's land in one turn. Ta-da! I play Armageddon.
Here's how you scoop.
That's what I'm going to be afraid of with that new concoction.
Actually, that's the wrong response. Here's how you table flip.
Yes.
I can imagine Lone Wolf's first video being titled "How to Lose Friends in One Day."
Yeah, that's going to be the main theme of my stream.
Lone Wolf Saltcast. I love it.
That's right. Saltcast. Oh my lord! Whoa! It is Thursday already? Holy cow!
Already.
I'm glad because starting this week, it was awful.
Yeah, this week is being tough since I've been back with Spell Table. Spell Table is not registering all my cameras. It keeps selecting one camera, this camera that you see now, for every different camera I have connected to this darn computer. It's like, you want to use the UBS camera? Well, too bad. You're stuck with the E-meet here. I'm like, okay. What's going on, Spell Table?
Now, if you switch cameras and put that over your desk, I guarantee it won't pick it.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. And hey, welcome to Balt's Opinion. Right?
Oh, my.
All right. That's going to be the show today, right? We're going to take all of Balt's opinions and we're going to judge them.
You're going to pick my brain and choose all of them?
You're right. We're gonna pick your brain for the last brain cells remaining that you're struggling with to keep up with everything. You know, that's how we do it.
It's going to be a super short sew then. There's not that many brain cells. I'm reviving a few of them, though, here with a cup of coffee in my tortoise mug.
Nice. Yeah, that tortoise mug is cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I got a monologue today. And the monologue, and it kind of spreads out. But it's going to highlight the theme of today's show. Yep. Yes, I don't always write a monologue, but when I do, I drink some coffee. All right. So here we go. Magic the Gathering by Wizards of the Coast, owned by Hasbro, has introduced us to a new era of MTG. New IPs and more IPs than ever. We are given the opportunity to buy the not-so-secret, not even a secret, but secret lairs, filling in the mass product void between every 2 months worth of standard product being released. Some people are, it's too much. Other people are enjoying the ride, and a few people like me just care about buying the things I want and ignoring the things that don't, you know? All I care about is people are being smart with their money. And, well, being with their favorite hobby, you hope people are being smart with their money financially, with their savings and everything, because a lot of us have to be, and a lot of us have been to that point where we just cared more about our hobby rather than our savings. In our younger life, that's when we cared about the hobby more. The older you get, you're like, well, maybe I need a savings. Well, maybe it's okay to pay the electric bill. Is the game Magic the Gathering growing too fast for the company or game? Is the player base growing larger than the rate that WOTC can deal with and handle? The game is in another growth spurt, and at this point, and at this time, I'm a bit worried WOTC is not quite ready for the overgrowth and to maintain it. But luckily enough for Wizards, they have players like us who are willing to nurture the young player and try to make the good experiences with the game. Let's get into this mess of a topic.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The mess of a topic. Well, first of all, let's hit the hard part of this, right? One of the things that's growing that Wizards can't really keep up with is the consumer side of things, right? They have to maintain a collectability and not overprint things, but people are growing in masses and by numbers that are buying product out left and right. You got collectors, you got resellers, and you got players of the game buying all this stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And what's making it difficult is the amount of people buying just to collect is kind of getting overwhelming when you want those people to buy to open up product and sell back to the stores, so the singles markets grow and flourish. Now, there's no solid evidence that the game is struggling in a bad way. In fact, we're being shown a lot how the game is doing in a good way. And, Wizards of the Coast is out there, and they're just rolling in that money because once the product is bought by a distributor, they kind of don't care. They're like, cha-ching, cha-ching, the bling, the bling. Their wallets are fat, while some of us are feeling thin.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Anyways, let's get some of your guys' thoughts about this.
Well, about that feeling thin, I know exactly where you're coming from there, because there's some cards back from Final Fantasy that I want. And look how long Final Fantasy's been out. I just ain't been able to afford nothing like that because,
oh yeah,
too dang gone fast.
Well, what's even crazy about Final Fantasy is even the singles. So a handful of singles are really expensive for what they do, like really expensive cash value. Mm-hmm. Like you see a card like that, you're like, well, that's probably like a $10, $20 card. And they're like, well, we're asking 40, 50, 60 because it's harder to get set. You're like, damn.
Yeah, exactly.
So the single markets is thriving, but who's the people? My question is, who's the people who are willing to pay these crazy prices for singles? Because it wouldn't push the price up so high if it wasn't selling. Someone's buying, someone's selling, and look, we know with Final Fantasy there's a supply and demand issue. The demand was way more than the supply. And then some people are still finding some product on the shelves. I mean, I've watched the trickster himself to open a couple packs of Final Fantasy on his channel.
But that's it. Just a couple of packs. I couldn't afford it, and it's one of those that I actually had to make the choice, the hard choice, to say I'm not going to chase it. And that's the thing that I've been doing lately is not chasing anything. I actually went back. The last things that I purchased were some of the older things. And I made a deal with myself that I'm not going to spend more than about $100 a box on anything. So I went back and got some Duskmourn, and I had some Ravnica Remastered laying around. And so I went through those boxes here recently instead and added those things to the store. But I've just given up. I feel like I'm beaten to the point where it's like I just can't keep up with the product. So I'm not going to. I'm just going to engage with, and this is what we've said all the time. This is what it stung when Mark Rosewater first said it, but I'm just going to engage with the stuff that I am going to use or play with myself. And I've thought about this too. It's one of those weird things where I can tell somebody, I can give them the advice that learn from my mistakes, but unless they do it themselves, unless I feel like each person, unless they get burned by this overprinting and everything else, like they're not going to accept it. They're not going to understand that, like, you just need to sit back and just get the cards that you're going to play with, because cracking boxes for money just isn't worth it.
All right. Here's a good question. All right, all these sets have chase cards, right?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How do you go for a chase card when as soon as you try to go for that chase card, boom, here comes another chase card. Boom, here comes another one. Boom, here comes another one. I mean, geez, Louise.
Well, that's the way they get you, right? So every set they make comes with a chase card, and then that's a different card from the last card, and they're forcing you to make your choices. Am I buying this product? Am I buying for the chase card? Or am I buying the singles just to ignore the rush of having to find the next product? It's not horrible. Really quick, we got TCG player in the chat saying, I agree, I have changed time and tried with Magic as well. And that's cool. And I think a lot of people have. Because,
for sure.
Well, first of all, I don't think anyone out there has enough money to afford a couple boxes every 2 months and keep up with secret layers and subsidiary products in the side and whatever flashbang deal comes on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they are getting rid of the chase by dropping so many sets. I mean, this is just my opinion. I know some people will stick with one set and try for that chase card, but you never know. One chase card might be better than the other chase card, and then you'll have to jump to another one, another set, go for that chase card. But still, that chase card, I don't think they can get the chase card out there anymore for people to get due to them dropping so many sets.
Well, the other thing, too, is they've switched the products around so much that buying a booster box or a play booster or whatever it's called these days doesn't really get you anything, because they've shifted all the major value to the collector sets. And then have overpriced those.
Well, I don't think we've super overpriced those, but the secondary market has. And I've been seeing memes on Facebook where people are like, you spend $600 on a collector booster and open up $15 worth of cards.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And you're like, imagine that feeling. And look,
I feel good.
I won't lie. If someone bought me a collector booster box, I'd be happy as shenanigans, even if I didn't make the value of the box.
Yeah.
But that's if someone bought me the box. That was free to me, right? Now, when it comes to choices, if I could afford a collector booster box, I think I'm only buying play booster boxes. When you get more packs, you still get some studded cards out there, but I'm going for the play booster because I get more value for my buck, even if the price differential is different.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I just wish, I said this before, I'll say it again. I wish they would just slow down.
Well, look, let's be honest here. If the numbers weren't looking so good for Wizards,
They wouldn't do it.
right? You know. I mean, come on. Like, remember those deck boxes that you guys were working on, right? If they started selling, and they were selling great, and people were asking for more of them, even though there'll be people complaining that the boxes are coming out too fast, the more money you're making, you wouldn't complain. You'd be like, wow, we need more boxes.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, I got to get her back into making those. She quit on me on that. But it was still a prototype phase. Still.
It's still cool. Still cool, you know? And look,
Yeah.
the growth of Magic, if you like it or not, is still a good thing. It might not be a good thing for you, but it's a good thing for the company. And like companies are growing, and they're growing more and exponentially. They're reaching out. They're getting people who don't know what Magic the Gathering is. In fact, we've had someone on this channel hit the chat who just got into Magic because of Final Fantasy.
Well, yeah.
You know, people are engaging with the product. They're getting into the thing. They don't know what they're exactly getting into, but you know, Magic the Gathering is one addictive and fun game.
Here's what I worry about though, is with all these people coming into Magic, if they don't have a positive experience with the game, or they don't have a positive enough experience, they're going to drop off. And so I think it's more about managing the expectations of people coming into the game. I think a lot of collectors, a lot of people came into the game seeing this, and they hear that you can make lots of money and this and that, and they get stuck on that portion of it. And if they're just here for that, they're going to drop off. But go ahead.
I'm going to throw in a hot take here.
I'm going to disagree with it.
You can disagree.
I'm just kidding.
But my hot take is Wizards of the Coast. Wizards of the Coast is the one and only company that I know where the player base not only financially supports Wizards of the Coast, but also supports its player base more than any other game out there. Right?
Yeah.
Like, how many times growing up, we were all young players before, especially Tabal. You mean Tabal, I guarantee you played Magic longer than the other two here.
Well, and I wasn't young then, so.
Right. But in our younger years of Magic, how many people did we pull into the game? How many people did say, hey, why don't you try this game? Let me teach you this game. Let me get you addicted to cardboard crack.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, really. True enough.
You know, and the hot take is it's not only do we support the company financially by buying the products, Wizards kind of depends on us to get more players in the game. They know players exist and players grow the game, and they keep shooting out hot stuff all the time. Like, they're branching in more players and collectors and everything, but they're kind of depending on us, the player base, to be like, look at this. we got everybody teaching everybody the game. Everybody making YouTube channels. Everybody making content for Magic the Gathering. We got people selling our stuff for free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And look, we got Bad Manners saying, Super almost got me addicted. I'm trying to fight the urge. Fight the urge. Or come in and join us. You know, you could be on the show one day, Bad Manners. Even though you don't play Magic, we can do a chat chill Wednesday with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd love to have you. But anyways, yeah. What do you think about the hot take I just went off about to Balt?
So I agree with much of it, but I think Bad Manners is like a perfect example for me then to say it's up to you, Superfast, to make sure and curate his expectations about the game and make sure that it's enjoyable for him beyond any of just the collecting aspect or the hype. And this isn't I'm kind of joking when I say it's your responsibility, but I mean, it's kind of, I think everybody's that's playing, and it's not responsibilities, and that's not the right word that I'm looking for, but we talked about this before in other shows and stuff about our stewardship as creators. We've taken it upon ourselves to be stewards of the game. And I think that guiding people and maybe helping manage their expectations is a good idea. And that's nobody's responsibility unless they choose to take it themselves. But I do think that Wizards takes advantage of that. So it stings that much more, hurts that much more when Wizards comes down on people that are creators and doing things to support the game, and they come down in such a way that it feels like we're ignored or not listened to or whatever. And I understand they don't have the responsibility to us. We've chosen to do this. It's up to us to make this content and so on. But when it seems that they go out of their way to harass individuals, I mean, I'm thinking about them sending the Pinkertons to that person that got the stuff, some time ago, got the product early or whatever, and them sending Pinkertons after them and stuff like that. That's crazy.
All right. Bad Manners says, I can tell you, if I was to have to bring somebody into Yu-Gi-Oh culture and have them to enjoy it, I wouldn't be able to. Collecting is fun. Playing Yu-Gi-Oh sucks.
I'd have to agree with that. 100% Bad Manners. I agree with you. I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And it was fun back in the day until they changed, because then they came up with some new mechanics and changed their whole game completely.
Wow.
Unlike Magic. Magic comes up with mechanics, but they don't really change their game that much.
No, what Magic does is to increase power levels like crazy. The power creep is real.
Yeah.
So it's really tough on them when they make a mediocre set that's even based. Ain't
that the thing going true?
Like when they make a set that's even based, like mediocre and power creep, it doesn't sell well because it doesn't improve people's decks. And so every time they're coming out with sets, they're trying thinking, what kind of card can we make to improve such and such a deck or such and such an archetype? And they have to do it. And that's where you kind of get the birthplace of chase cards, because then when they make a chase card, they're like, people are going to want to play this on their decks. It's a little power creep and does lots of things. Then when we're lucky, they slap a number on that card and say, this is 1 of 500.
Oh, yeah. But right now, the way it is, they can keep those dang on serialized cards because they're too hard to chase now, especially by all the drops that they're dropping.
That's the other thing too. When you've got that many sets, everything is going to increase exponentially. Because they do need the power creep. They do need a little bit to make the thing exciting for both newer and older players. But when they're doing, like you said, a new set every 2 months, you are constantly striving. So it's just diluting the pool. So them pulling back a little bit would help in the long run for the longevity, but that's not the way most CEOs think, and that's not the way most shareholders think.
Right.
They're not thinking long term.
Bad Manners says, on average, how long does a regular turn last in Magic? Well, two things. First of the game, it usually goes by pretty quick. Depending on the deck, that average time varies.
Yep.
Varying on the triggers, the plays, the mana available, so on and so forth. Trust me, it's not like a 15-minute game every game.
It also depends on the format you're playing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the format does change it. I mean, Legacy, you can take a couple minutes a turn, but it's a very fast format. If people play Legacy anymore, but Modern is a fast format. EDH Commander is just the most popular format in Magic right now. You know, Standard doesn't always last long. Sometimes it does, especially on Arena when they're roping you.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think it also depends on how well you know your deck on how long the turn takes too.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you're still trying to figure it out, the plays and everything, it's going to take you longer.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. The more you know your deck, the more if you're efficient with your plays, for sure. That's why when you see players like me shuffle their hand, I already know every card in my hand, and I know what my next play should be. I'm just shuffling this so you don't think or pay attention to one card I'm focusing on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I miss those days. It used to be back in the early days of Magic before everybody really got into it. I would always, if you had to take something from somebody else's hand, I always made sure to take from the left side of their hand because people out of habit would shuffle the cards that they were going to play on their right more often than they would on the left. Those were later plays. Those were bigger cards that were more expensive, generally speaking. That lasted for a little while, but not too long, because then people got wise to it and said, before you grab my card, let me mix these up a little bit.
Right. Well, I'm always about randomization when it comes to stuff like that. Like, you don't get to choose particularly, you have to choose a side, or you have to choose a card at random. And let's shuffle up these cards. Because trust me, random helps you out a lot more than people think.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it can hurt you. It can hurt you a lot more than people think, too.
Yep.
To Bolt's mind games. That's right. There's a lot of mental magic in Magic.
Yeah. One thing about Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic, everybody gets a turn in Magic most of the time. In Yu-Gi-Oh, it can win one-sided.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like Yu-Gi-Oh anymore.
One thing I learned about Yu-Gi-Oh that I personally think that Magic could do a little revamping on, but should not go as crazy as Yu-Gi-Oh with, because Yu-Gi-Oh's crazy with this, right? But Magic needs a couple more in the colors, all the colors, because Yu-Gi-Oh's crazy with tutors. Oh my lord, the tutors in Yu-Gi-Oh is insane. I play a card, I tutor for the card I want. I play a card, I tutor for the card I want. Oh my lord.
Mm-hmm.
It's insanity. And look, I think there's some colors in Magic that could use a couple more tutors at a good rate. The similarity between Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic is most tutors in the game tutor for certain things. Like Yu-Gi-Oh, like if you play a demon deck, you have a tutor that tutors for a demon. Let's see. Bad Manners. Oh boy, it can be 15 minutes for one person's turn, and then their turn continues on yours, and then you lose. No.
Yep.
That's so bad. It's Bad Manners. It sounds like bad habits of games.
Indeed.
Because I am an ex-Yu-Gi-Oh player that came to Magic.
Yeah, Magic's more.
What brought you over to Magic? Was it just the cards, the mechanics?
Well, I heard about Magic, but didn't know nothing about Magic.
Right.
But and when I started losing Yu-Gi-Oh without even being able to play, I just quit it all. Then after I quit it all, I met a buddy that taught me how to play Magic, and I've been with Magic ever since.
Yeah,
Right.
plus 10 points for Gryffindor. I mean, Billy. Yeah. Well, look, you can be salty about the game's state right now, but Magic is probably healthier than it could be, right? When it comes to financial gains. In a recession like we're in, they're doing good. Look, think about the irony in that. In America, we're kind of in a recession, and this hobby is making bank. Maybe I'm just doing Billy, looking for my super. That's right. Like you remember when COVID hit, the one thing that disappeared from shelves was toilet paper.
Yeah.
Right now, luckily, we're not in that kind of situation again, and our toilet paper is fine. But we're also kind of in a recession. There's been videos coming out, and I don't know how true it is. Videos coming out about the value of the American dollar dropping, and people are spending major money on Magic products in a time we should probably be saving up.
Yep.
So that's kind of what I was talking about earlier too, where I feel like if people start chasing these things because they think that they can get rich doing this, they're going to have a bad experience, and those people will drop off. And I'm not proclaiming the death of Magic, because that's ridiculous. There have been so many things that have. There are a lot of doomsayers along the way saying like, "Oh, this is Magic's dying. This is going to kill the game," and so on and so forth. But I think it's bad for the longevity of it if we get these people in, have unrealistic expectations, and they bail. There should be, so like I'm saying, while we have those people, while the expansion is happening, for me, it feels like it's up to the creators to, again, have a more positive experience and show people that the game itself can be enjoyable and is more about the experiences you make with your friends.
Right. And look, how many times has this happened to you? It's happened to me several times. You get a new player in the game, they get hooked to the game, and their first question is how do I make the most degenerate deck that wins all the time? And you have to explain to them that one deck cannot always win against other decks.
Nope.
That's right.
You know,
there's always another deck out there that'll beat your deck. Always.
There's always another strategy that's going to stop your strategy.
Right. And you have to explain that to them, you know, because some people get power hungry when it comes to playing Magic. Like, oh, I love this game. Now I want to build the most degenerate thing. What's the most degenerate mechanic you got? What's the one thing that makes people salty? And you're like, land destruction, but
land destruction.
I don't know who you're pointing to, not me.
You know, well, I wasn't mentioning you particularly, but I actually had a friend who was new to Magic, and he was asking what the most powerful mechanic is to take over a game. I told him land destruction, and he's like, I want to build that. I said, well, if you don't want to play games very much and you want people to play with you, I wouldn't suggest it. All you're doing is pulling up everybody's lands and making it where they can't play. You know.
So then I would play a mill deck against that, probably.
Probably. With heavy reanimation. Reanimation. Oh, yeah. That's funny. But look, think about this. In this era of Magic, we have Optimus Prime facing off Sephiroth, facing off SpongeBob, facing off Ian Malcolm from Jurassic Park, and all this jazz. We got all these characters coming to the game, and we got all these people coming to the game because of collectability. Now, I know for a fact, and I don't know who for a fact started it, but you know the Pokemon collector community sparked up the collectability Magic in their community and brought some of that Pokemon collector era into this Magic the Gathering. So we got more people collecting, which is a good thing that we got people collecting in Magic. But The problem is not every game can be Pokemon. We get more collectors than players. We need more players in the game to keep the game alive as a playable game.
Right.
I mean, where's the motivation in creating that new fancy designed card for that mill deck that you want, right? When people are not even opening the product to play with it. You know, what's the point of making a bigger card if no one's going to want to play with it? They're just like, I'll buy a box, store it on a shelf, and ta-da! It's worth money.
Yep.
You know?
Until it isn't.
But here's the true fact. As collectible as these cards are, they're only as collectible as they are because people play with the cards.
Right.
Like it's one thing if I have a card that I like, but when they make a card that we all like, then that's when the price goes up because they're like, everybody wants to play this card. It is nuts, you know. So collectability is there, but without for the health of the game, you can't let the collectors take over the player base, right? Because players and collectors feed each other. Players play the game, they make the cards valuable, they showcase the cards, they make the content on the cards, they do all that fun jazz, and the collectors bank from us playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And that's a natural thing, right? You don't hate the game, play the game, right? And look, there's an ecosystem in the new era of Magic that's developing. Like, imagine for the first time for the new players coming into the game, seeing the evolution taking place of Magic the Gathering. We got people who are collecting. We got people who are playing. You're seeing the price. The problem I have with this evolution is I don't think Magic the Gathering will be a sustainable card game completely if it's as expensive as Warhammer 40K.
Ouch.
Really?
But you're right. You're 100% correct.
That was a great set. I did get one deck from that.
Well, that was a great set, but I'm actually talking about the figurines game. You know how much they charge? They charge $80 for 5 figurines this small that you have to spend more money painting and putting together.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So, like, Warhammer is a good game, and it has its fan base, but it's a guarantee never going to be as big as Magic the Gathering because its player base has to be rolling in the dough.
Yeah, it's price prohibitive.
Right? Where Magic the Gathering, what made it great, especially when Standard was the main format at the time, was it was relatively cheap. I mean, do you remember there was a time when $20 for a Magic card was considered expensive?
For sure.
You know, $20 was considered expensive. You got cards in Commander that are playable, that are worth hundreds.
Oh, yeah.
And
it's
that's
fun because that was one of the things that actually attracted me from 60 card decks to Commander was arguably it was less expensive because I didn't have to have 4 copies of each of the cards that I wanted to play. For Commander, I could only have, I only need one of these? Great. But even the power creep within that or the price creep has gone from, because I mean, do you remember a while back that they actually had like $20 Commander decks that they had out there?
Oh, yeah. Those $20 cheap decks were pretty cool.
They were still good decks and so on, but they moved very quickly away from that to where the Commander decks now are just kind of outrageous.
Teacher Dude says, I had to show up, but been AFK with baby all morning. Well, take care of the baby.
Yep.
We know you're all not the mama.
Get that baby chewing on those cards now. It'll help the value go up.
Sounds like we're covering good ground about how folks feel about Magic. Very true. I appreciate the thought. But yeah, like there's a lot of good stuff happening in Magic Gathering. Now, some of the good stuff is stuff I don't like, right? Like the price going up and everything. But there are people okay with it. You know, there are people out there who have more expendable cash. I mean, look at Headley. driving these hot rods all across town, going crazy, But seriously, there are people who will say expendable money. There are people who work, good jobs that pay really good. There are people who got things set up where they're safe to spend this money. There are people who are willing to buy it.
Yep.
Then, oh my lord, there's people in the collector community. I've been watching some collector videos lately, and there's people who've been dogging on collectors. Not dogging like just talking down on them, like tricking them, filming them, getting ready to buy a product out so kids can't enjoy them. Like one of the videos I was watching was people waiting in line for a store to open so they could rush in and buy out this particular Pokemon product so they can flip it. I mean, excuse me, the free market's there. It's a free market out there, so it's completely legal. But they want to flip this product. They want to buy this $20 product and flip it for $100. Which is cool in its own way, but at the same time, if it's too much product being overpriced, how's the game going to survive if the younger generation with less money cannot afford it?
Yeah.
And I'm going to bring up another hot take. It's our generation's fault, right? Us old people's fault, right? Nostalgia bites you in the ass.
Yeah, it does. When it bites, it don't feel good.
Right? And here's why I'm saying it's our fault. This figure right here is worth a couple $100. Guaranteed I didn't pay a couple $100 for it, but it's worth a couple $100. That's because my generation liked that toy. This figure is worth $100 now, even though when I buy it was like 60. But it's designed from a generation of show I like, right? Our reselling group, our flipper group that's out there, whose nostalgia gets into a hobby of collecting toys and cards and stuff like that, and we buy them because we love them. They bring back that memory. They bring back that nostalgia, and nostalgia is worth a pretty penny, right? And with this game, we got people not only with nostalgia, teaching people about our nostalgia and getting people into the collector industry and saying, hey, if you want to make a quick buck or a good buck, get into this. People are very nostalgic for it, And even though the new product's coming out, we still want to interact with these products, right? And if you can't find it on the store shelves, you go to eBay, Mercari, you go online, wherever you buy stuff, and you find the product and you buy it for the pretty penny.
Yep.
I think that brings up an interesting paradox too, though.
No.
Because the paradox is the fact that with all these products being pumped out at such an excessive rate, no nostalgia is developing for those products.
Yep.
Are you nostalgic for anything in the Innistrad wedding block? Or, you know what I mean? Right. So it's like they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot in the long run because these cards don't have enough time to set and to gel with the player base.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's not just the player base, right? It's not just the player base getting nostalgic. It's one of those things where if you're taught the color red is a very popular color and you start buying anything red to flip on the market because that's the popular color and people are going to buy it, then that's when you turn it around and sell the color red on the market. That's what people do. That's what's happening with Magic because the faster you deplete product from the shelf, the more you hope FOMO bites people in the butt. They're willing to spend $60 on a $20 product.
Right.
And see, that makes me want to make a point. I do not like those people because I want to be able to afford the card. And there's other people out there that feels the same way because, they want to be able to afford the card so they can play the card.
What?
And that's making it rough when they do that, go in and buy everything. And that makes it rough on the person trying to get the card to play because the price on it jumps, sky high to where they can't afford it.
Right.
So my solution for that is going out of my way to build budget decks that are synergistic and can compete. One of the best it's funny because for something that I have upcoming, one of my upcoming projects and stuff is going to be about Commander with a couple other content creators, but it got me thinking about it. And one of the questions that we wanted to talk about was like, what's the best one of the best experiences that you've had playing Commander, because it's going to be about playing Commander. Anyhow, one of my best experiences with that is when I was finally looking at my hand and able to see that I was going to beat two opponents that famously or infamously had deep pockets that I had lost to for years. But the best feeling that I had, the euphoria that I had, was looking at my $25 Commander deck and knowing that I was going to beat them both in a single turn, the very next turn and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So one of the ways of getting around that is go out of the way to build those budget decks that are going to destroy your opponent.
Oh, yeah. One of my favorite budget decks, and one of my favorite memories in the later years of Magic, was rebuilding my Rafika the Mini deck. Now, the deck's been upgraded where it's not as budget anymore.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
But it's still fairly budget for a Commander deck these days.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And when I first built this deck, I wanted to play test it, so I shuffled it up and everything and play tested it. And I played my land, played my creature, played my artifact, equipment, played my enchantment, and by turn 4, turn 5, I was doing 40 damage to a player by that time.
Ooh, ouch.
And I was like 1v1, this deck's great. Then I was proud of that. 4v4, I'm like, if I focus on one person, I can get rid of one person from the game before my butt's handed to me. So, yeah. So, budget isn't always an option. But let's get honest here. There's so much Magic cards out there, it's hard to think of ways to find the cards you want for a deck that are budget. Mm-hmm. But the nice thing about Magic Gathering is there's so many efficient cards out there that are budget that if you find something, you can find multiples of it or like it. Like, what is it? Ghostly Flight, I think it's called, or Ghostly Wings, Ghostly Flight. It's a blue enchantment that costs a generic and a blue, gives a creature +2/+2 and flying. Mm-hmm. That's all it does. And then we take the mini, deck's spectacular, right? In the deck, it's spectacular. It's giving a creature invasion ++2/+2, and possibly giving a double strike later on, solid. Then they came out with a card that's exactly the same card, but it's called One with the Wind. So that's cool, so if you're going to do something in Magic, if you're a player in Magic, the one thing I would suggest to you is learn how to search up cards. Really good, right? I use, you can use Tabalt's new...
the Arcane Nexus?
Arcane Nexus, yes.
Yeah.
To look up synergies with cards. And it's really good. I've used it a couple times. It is really solid.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to find synergy cards, right? And if you want to do the hard way, put in the work and effort, you can go to Wizards' own website and look up cards, particularly by what they do.
Yes, that is a handy thing to be able to do for sure. Mm-hmm. So, I guess my point really too is the fact that you can't change, or we can't change anything that's necessarily going to happen at Wizards. We can only change our own attitudes, and we can share those with those new people that are being drawn into the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes. See, Magic the Gathering is one of those games. It's easy to play, but hard to master.
For sure.
And the only problem with that mix is the more expensive cards get. The harder it is to master the game because you have to deal with the people who can afford the cards. Which brings up an interesting point. Proxies. Are you going to proxy? People are okay with proxying in Commander. You know, as long as it ain't standard. As long as it ain't a tournament functional game. But here's my question. What happens when Commander becomes a legal format? They're working on it. They talked about it.
Yep. What's your thoughts, Lone Wolf?
About which part?
About proxies being added to the game.
Oh, I don't have a problem with proxies. For me, with the proxies, as long as the person's having fun, to me it's a game and it's about having fun. If you want to build something crazy, that's your own doing. I just think as long as everyone there is having fun, that's what matters the most.
Oh yeah. Well, look. The only thing I'm bringing about proxies is proxies are not allowed in tournament sanctioned formats. Now, those Spell Devils games we play are not sanctioned games, but once Commander becomes sanctioned, there's going to be a war on proxies.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and because you can't take your deck with proxies in it to a sanctioned game if you want to play a sanctioned Commander.
Yeah,
you know, my store is doing sanctioned events too. I haven't talked to them about the proxy things, but they probably don't care at the moment. They're just caring about growing their player base at the moment. So, but anyways, my friends. Anyways, I want to thank my channel members and subscribers personally with the clip really quick.
I want to thank you, channel members of the channel, for supporting this creep the way you do. You are awesome. And you subscribers, everybody that subscribes, you're doing amazing too. Thank you very much for all that you do.
And just really quick, before you think we forgot, you got this.
Card of the day.
Oh, look. I found a card that was good from Duskmourn. Whoop, whoop. Well, there's a couple good cards from Duskmourn, but this one I don't think people are seeing as good because they're not reading that little thing in the middle there called Instant. Instant makes this card really good. Blood Pact costs 3 generic and a black. It says target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life. Solid little card. Instant speed, you play it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good card.
Yeah. What's you guys' thoughts?
I like it.
I didn't know that was a card.
And late game, it can always be used to make your opponent lose the game.
Oh yeah.
This reminds me one time when I played Arvice on Tortoise. Let him draw 3 cards and he was at 3 life.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, they're tricks, and you got to play with your tricks for sure.
Yep.
And with that, we're gonna go to the picture of the day. Picture of the days. Even fake Avengers need a coffee. That's right. Oh, that's the best prompt I can give for this, so I used it. But anyways, enjoy your coffee today, everybody. Hope it's been good. And with that, we got to get to the segment of the day where we hit this button.
Hit that subscribe button. Become a part of the creep.
Too much to take, so it's lit. MTG3, are you game? Rise, creep, rise, building a following as we gain. Spitting fire like a dragon, no one can bring us down. MTG3 in the house, we own this town. Ripping through the beats with a fury.
All right, everybody, we can get to the shill section, where we're going to shill everything off and go crazy. We're going to find out where you can like these people, find their stuff and everything. Trust me, it's worth it. It's worth it. With that, we're going to start with the one person who doesn't really have his own channel, but hey, we'll let him talk anyways. We're going to go with Lone Wolf.
All right, everybody. Thanks for letting me be a part of the show again. Just want to say, let's support everybody here. You know, Tillboat with his stuff, and let's get Tortoise and Hellblade to 1,500. I think that's a good start, a good point to go.
Whoa, whoa. Right, with that, let's get to the diabolical Devolved Princess.
Wait, we just did card of the day. We're starting the show now, right? It can't be over with already. That's not possible. How did it go so quick?
Yeah, went quick, for sure.
All right. So, yes, if you ever want to know what a specific card could be paired with, you can always go to darkritual.site. You'll just need to give me your email address, but you can put up to 3 different cards in for free and figure out what other cards work with them. So you can check that out on the Arcane Nexus. Also, you can find my blog there where I sometimes list personal thoughts and deck techs and things that I don't put up anywhere else. Basically, everything comes together at darkritual.site. You can follow me on Instagram for daily type things, and all the chaos comes together there. And I am super grateful to be here to share the day with you guys.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And with that, we're going to roll over to Emily.
Oh, my turn? Already. This afternoon at 2 o'clock, we're going to play some more Arena. And I didn't get to play viewer battles this week because of the dang gone issues I was having with OBS, and then turn around and have issues with the dang gone Arena client. Well, not Arena client, the whole Wizards client. I couldn't log into Spell Table, couldn't log into Arena, couldn't do nothing because of Wizards. But the situation got resolved, so now we're doing the Arena thing. And then Tuesday, we're going to be back on track for viewer battles Tuesday afternoon. And then Saturday afternoon, we're going to be playing some Path of Exile.
Path of Exile.
Yep, and that's all I got planned for the rest of this week.
Everybody, Super Fast Tortoise is here. Super Fast Tortoise. That's right. Super Fast Tortoise here. Let you know, tonight, we're going to try to put together a commander game. Bracket 3. Tiamat Dragons. This is all in my Dragon deck. I got other decks. Believe me. Well, I like playing Dragons right now. I'm still trying to figure it out and see what I need. So there's a couple cards I'm trying to replace, and I'm having a hard time figuring out what to replace, so I need to play the deck more. So we're playing Bracket 3 Commander tonight. So that's 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on this channel. Same bad time, same bad crazy. That's me. So come on, join the show tonight. Watch us as we play some Magic Gathering on Spell Table. Even with the camera issues I'm having, it's still working, and we'll play with it just fine. Whoop, whoop. And with that, my friends, you can always catch us here on this channel at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday. So if you haven't, hit that subscribe button if you want to be part of the creep and catch us all throughout the week. I want to thank you, my channel members, for everything you do. Subscribers, thank you for what you do. And with that, I want to remind you that you're loved. Someone's thinking about you. And if you can, say and or do something positive for someone else, because you might be the change you need today. And with that, my friends, we're going to get to the end scene.
Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show.